Ohio approved and licensed for disposal, at Ron Evans Enterprises, they specialize in sewage system installation and repair. Ron Evans has a full line of flex pipe, culverts, concrete and plastic septic tanks, sewer fittings, waterline rolls for the Home American water heaters, along with toilets, standard and ADA. It's all at Ron Evans Enterprise, LLC. Give them a call today at 1-800-537-9528 or 740-286-5930.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at bellisiofoods.com/careers.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Main Street TV. So Jen is out today, and it's just me, and I got to thinking to myself, what's one thing that I know how to do that I could tell people about? And lately for me, that has been how to survive college. So college, for all of you who have had that experience, you know it can be pretty crazy at times, and a lot of the problems that all of us have faced at one point or another is trying to figure out how to navigate college on a budget. So I Googled it just to see what is the standard thing that a lot of us have to learn how to do in order to save money in college. And one of them was avoid paying for full textbooks, full price textbooks. Now I gotta say that's easier said than done. I have never found a textbook that is cheaper and college approved. That is not really an easy thing to mess with because they have these bookstores, and bookstores have become online. So you got to order through an online bookstore. Now, that is just insanely overly difficult already because you got to go to this online bookstore and order the book. And it's not like you just search up, this is the book I want. No, you got to search up the book number and find an exact version. And the exact version is always something weirdly specific. One of mine was The Little Seagull, issue number 7. How many little seagulls have there been? It is just a difficult task to try to find that specific college textbook, and then trying to find that on a discount. That's not easy, but that is the number one way that online automatic Google search result says that you can do to save money in college. The other one was cook for yourself. Cooking for yourself, I mean, everyone's gonna have to learn to do that at some point, but all of us college students were typically 19, 20, 21. Yeah, we ain't cooking for ourselves, man. That's going to be Burger King every night. And that's exactly what it's been for me. So that is not an easy way to save money, but it is a route you should definitely go if you can do it. That would have saved me a ton of money already had I not eaten Burger King every single night. And it probably would have helped my health a little bit too. But that's the number 2 way to save money in college. So that's just some of the stuff I'm going to talk about this morning. But I'm also going to try and cut back and forth to Mix 96 a bit. And I went through and found some of the clips from recently on Mix 96's Matt in the Morning Crew. And one of them was the Super Bowl. And that was just last night. And me and Pete really didn't get into the Super Bowl a whole lot. So I'm going to go ahead and play that for you guys. And yeah, after that, I'll get back to tell you guys some more ways to save on college.
to you.
Big Papa in the house.
I love it when you call me Big Papa. Oh, and I had an addendum to that Big Papa statement. I'll have to look it up again.
Oh, yeah.
What
yes.
was that?
It was
pretty funny,
something
though.
about my face and my attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Like, something about having a terrible attitude and my face is just as bad or something.
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like so. Yeah, I forgot about that because we said something about that last night. So
we forgot all about it.
So, and it's not because we drank too much. I
No.
can tell you that much. But
No, we chicken winged.
we did have some
other
chicken
than that.
wings. Yeah. So we got home last night and I was like, I think I ate a little too much.
Yes.
I'm like, well, just go to bed and sleep it off.
That's right. Had too many chicken wings.
Yeah, no Super Bowl in the books, and
Yep.
the Kansas City Chefs won. Great googly moogly. So
Yes.
if you don't remember that one, that was a Super Bowl commercial from a few years ago, back when the Chiefs weren't any good. So
I was thinking about this. So I don't want to say Matt and I were rooting for two different teams last night because I don't know that it was necessarily
I wasn't-
that.
I really wasn't rooting for anybody.
Yeah, that's kind of where we both were. But I did see somebody say, if the Chiefs keep beating the Bengals, then shouldn't you at least root for the team that beat the team that you like?
I don't know. I
guess
a lot of people will say that.
I guess
it's
like
oh.
rooting for Michigan for the national championship. You
Right.
know, it's the one team that.
And I really don't have one team right now other than the Chiefs that have beat the Bengals to keep them out of the Super Bowl, which this year it didn't really matter. I mean, they would have been in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And perhaps the Super Bowl had they not tanked on Christmas Eve to the Steelers, because
That's true.
so,
That's true.
or whatever it was, Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, whatever it was they played. But I just remember that it was Pittsburgh and they didn't even show up. So.
Right. It was a good game.
Yes.
It was a lot more uneventful than
Yeah,
I
it's
anticipated.
it was not a high scoring game. It was.
I think that
so.
Matt and I both watched the halftime show, and it was like, it was okay.
Yeah.
Nothing about it blew me away, but there were a lot of people like, oh, this is one of the best halftime shows ever. And it's like,
Yeah.
it was just all right.
I don't know. I mean, the whole Starlight Express thing in the middle with him on the roller skates
On the roller
was
skates. Yeah, that's cool.
was kind of cool, but
I didn't understand it.
I didn't either. I didn't understand most of his performance.
Right.
I just know that he started fully clothed, and by the end of it, he was half naked. So,
Right. Well, that's normal.
yeah. So, and Ludacris and Will.I.am and Alicia Keys all made made appearances. So, but yeah, overall wasn't too bad.
Now, Alicia Keys, I really like her.
I mean,
So,
we got
I always have.
we got turned down for what, and both in there. So I
Yeah.
mean, it was
And I guess that was
it was a lip sync show for all. I mean,
Yeah.
no, not that he wouldn't.
Empire State of Mind. I mean,
Yeah,
it's good. I'll take it.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. So we got a whole lot to talk about because I want to cover the Super Bowl all the way from the pregame stuff with the national anthem and America the Beautiful.
Yeah.
We got some highlights of the halftime show. Did you happen to catch Mahomes' weird snicker when he was doing his interview last night?
No.
Yeah, it sounds a little something like this. I didn't catch it either, but.
Just know that the Kansas City Chiefs are never underdogs. Just know that.
So there you go. Now you got I was like, whatever, dude. So we got that. We got some other fun stuff in there too. I want to obviously some of the commercials, some of the ones that were hits, and some of them that weren't. We finally got to see Agent State Farm,
Yes.
and the fact that Arnold couldn't say neighbor. And so a really good move that they pulled on the end, and I want to, we'll reveal that, and a lot of great movie trailers.
Yes.
So when we talk box office, we'll hit on some of those coming up later on. I still think one of two of my favorite commercials were the Christopher Walken commercial, and also the Dunkin' Donuts commercial were probably two of my
Dunkin'
favorites.
Donuts was good.
So we'll get into some of that,
Yeah.
and we'll have some fun. So, but hey, we can do some headlines right now.
What, the headlines?
Speaking of the Super Bowl, I guess dozens of indigenous activists were in Las Vegas to protest the name Chiefs by the Kansas City team.
Okay.
So, of course, if they're playing by the letter, they could always save some money and go by the Kansas City Chefs, if that winds up being an issue in the future. But so,
why not?
Yep.
It's a great idea, actually.
Experts, I guess, are growing concerned that online sports gambling is being used more and more by minors. I didn't realize that, but that's apparently a thing. I mean, kids gambling, though, is nothing new. I won $20 on a dodgeball championship back in 8th grade, so.
When I was a kid, I remember going to a little, what was the Limaville Festival, and they had what they called the stovepipe game, and you rolled a set of dice down an old stovepipe onto a box, and if you rolled under 7, it was this, and over 7, it was this.
Right.
And so I made, it was really cool, and you put a quarter in, and so I remember playing that a lot as a kid. Well, then I made one at home and invited all my friends over, and we'd play that game at home. And I realized we're basically shooting craps.
Yeah, more. It's
so
in a lot of ways. Yeah,
I think my parents wanted to know how I kept making so much money.
Kids are inventive. That's all I can say.
Everybody kept coming over to the house with a roll of quarters. We just sat there.
It works.
It was a good time.
It works. Yeah, they said it's great, but of course, I could have used some help from some of those experts for gambling on the game yesterday. Because no, I didn't gamble. But,
I didn't either.
So I don't understand it enough to do it. So, former President Trump apparently got personal while campaigning in South Carolina. He asked where Nikki Haley's husband has been, even though he's serving in the military overseas.
Yeah.
So, of course, Trump was probably asking where Mr. Haley was in hopes of finding where Melania's been, too. So
that's true. That's true. We haven't seen much of her.
I haven't heard much from her yet. An Idaho lawmaker is worried that human composting can lead to cannibalism. Doesn't even know human composting was a thing. Isn't that what all people do when you put them in a casket? So
that's what I figured, too.
So you got to wonder if they'll reach over the aisle to the Donner Party for support. So, I mean, I don't think that human composting leads to cannibalism. Maybe biting your nails does, though. I don't know.
Well, yeah, sure.
So, Dakota Johnson revealed on Late Night with Seth Meyers that she apparently had a terrible experience while appearing in the series finale of The Office. So, you got to wonder if it's as bad as working 5 days in an actual office.
I doubt that.
Yeah. The big game yesterday was powered by a desert solar farm, which marked a historic moment for renewable energy. Of course, that just about offsets the carbon footprint that Taylor had from flying privately to the game, but that's for another discussion. So
she had to fly back anyway. It didn't matter.
I know, but people got to pick on something. So.
That's right.
This is interesting. A U.S. Customs and Border Protection dog found mummified monkeys in someone's luggage at Boston International Airport.
Okay.
He said the monkeys were seized and the dog has entered therapy for post-traumatic stress disorder.
I would think.
So, I don't know. So
mummified monkeys. Okay.
Yeah, what are you going to do with mummified monkeys? So.
I'm going to put them on display somewhere.
Yeah, so, of course, as we said earlier, going back to the Super Bowl again, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Mahomes gets his 3rd Super Bowl ring. But everybody's saying that the one that deserves a ring is Taylor. And the conspiracy theories didn't happen. There was no proposal last night.
Awful quiet.
Yep, so. Which is kind of funny, though, Mahomes finds all this time to play football with all of his State Farm commercials.
That's true.
But I don't know, so. This is an interesting one. A California elementary school principal was placed on leave after he apparently pretended to shoot students during a mass shooting drill.
I would assume that a letter or something went home stating that there was going to be a drill.
Yeah, you would think, but I don't know if they're mad at him because I don't know if he went along and went like.
Would they have
pointing, or
would they have rathered it was a student that was doing that?
I mean, you have to kind of wonder how else they would handle it. How else would you handle it if you're gonna?
I mean, other than a police officer.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
No, I've not been a part of an active shooter drill, so I don't know how they do them.
I've been a part of several.
I don't know if it's one of those things where they actually send somebody through the school that is supposed to, quote, be the shooter.
Yes.
Like, I know the girls, like, when they have their drills or whatever, and they have to lock down the rooms, and they have a whole procedure, but they don't do anything else. They don't have somebody walking through the hall,
Now, I don't remember whether they
had
sent like somebody who was pretending to be a shooter at the elementary level. I don't remember that. And I really don't remember the high school level that much either. I remember preparing for those drills more than I do doing it. So I don't know. I've got some friends that can tell us exactly what they do. What their thoughts are on the teacher getting or the principal getting.
Well, I'm wondering if it's probably being an elementary school. Maybe they should have pretended it was the Order 66 drill, and then she could have struck down kids with a lightsaber instead. Maybe that would have been a little bit more bearable. I don't know, but either way, I get both sides of the story. So this is an interesting story here. I guess they found a 3,500-year-old skeleton of an ancient Nubian woman. That said it was an old pockmarked skeleton of an ancient Nubian woman. They said that it could be one of the earliest known cases of rheumatoid arthritis.
Oh.
Which I'd say arthritis is pretty common when you're 3,000 years old, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, probably.
So, how about this one? A Washington woman's home security camera was recording when a large bear attempted to enter her home through the doggy door.
Oh.
So, they said that the bear was on a revenge mission for Goldilocks, but the door was too small. So... And then finally, I'm going to end on this. We may regret it. We may hear about it, but it's just too funny not to read. So here we go.
I'm ready.
A little bit of adult content, parent-wise, if you have your kids with you right now. Throwing this out here. But apparently, by studying male mouse erections, which...
Okay.
I don't even want to know how you study that.
No. Scientists
have discovered that 2 types of cells in the penis are essential for triggering and maintaining a hard-on.
Okay.
So this information could be used to develop new drugs that'll result in a very happy Minnie Mouse at home.
Apparently.
And of course, they also said that the study could help Stuart Little become Stuart Large. So there's your What the Headlines
for
the day. I don't know. So there's some of them good, some of them bad, but... Hey, it's the Monday after the Super Bowl. Cut us some slack.
That's right.
So, we got more music coming up right now. We got a lot of fun. We're going to have some fun. Stick with us. It's post-Monday. After the Super Bowl, we're going to talk about everything around the Super Bowl throughout the show. And we're going to be celebrating birthdays this hour, so don't forget about that. But right now, how about some Whitesnake? It's Here I Go Again.
Nope, can't have that playing on Facebook Live. That would take us down instantly. Anyways, I'm back for a minute. So, Super Bowl, that was a huge thing, of course. And I keep seeing these online memes about Usher. And I thought Usher did a good performance. I tuned in live, I watched it. And a lot of people seem to not like his performance. Let me know in the comments how you felt about it. But I thought he was pretty entertaining. And I like Usher. I've always liked Usher's music. And of course, I don't know a lot of the older artists, but I found that one pretty entertaining. So, back to it here. Number 3, embrace communal living. I don't know if you guys have heard my rant about communal living, but not something I really enjoyed too well. The communal living was just, for me, it was a different kind of experience. I for example, the other day, I was in the shower and I hear someone come in and, it's a public communal bathroom. So, of course, there's people in and out the whole time. It's like a never ending Walmart restroom, but you shower in there. And I hear some music kick on. And at first I'm kind of vibing with the music. It was entertaining. It was some good music. It wasn't in English, so I didn't really know exactly what it was saying. But it had like a good beat to it. It sounded good. I was just enjoying it. And then I hear the music get closer and closer and closer. And then I hear the door shut in the stall right next to me. And I was like, what? There's like 7 different showers here, and you picked the shower right next to me. I mean, I like the music, but I didn't want it that close. And like, I could see like the water starting to come into my side from him. And I'm just like, why? Like, why wouldn't you have gone to any of the other shower cubbies in this entire area? And there's like 3 floors here. You had so many options, and you picked the one right next to me. I don't know. Communal living, not a fan. Not a fan at all. So embrace communal living. I mean, yeah, to save on a budget, definitely do it. But what I recommend, nah, 0 out of 10, dude. Shop at thrift stores is number 4. Yeah, I would say do that one. I mean, like you go into Walmart or something like that, and you try and buy something, and it's like I don't know, $20.99 to get a pair of pants, and you go to a thrift store, and that stuff's like $2.99. For real, those are some crazy good deals. I got an entire outfit that was like the weirdest, craziest outfit, all from a thrift store. And it cost me like $10. I had like a big hat and like a big thick jacket and some like it was like a skirt thing almost, and some crazy older style shoes, and it was all like under $5. It's insane the deals you can get at a thrift store. If you're trying to survive on a budget, that is perfect, especially for a college student, because like those outfits might have been kind of crazy, but if I wore that to college, I think it would be hilarious. I think people would love it. So yeah, that is definitely a good way to survive college on a budget. And I searched the same exact topic up on Reddit, and I found one person that said, going for free with scholarships. That's a difficult task because like in order to get a lot of the scholarships, it's based off of your GPA. And I applied for some of them, but my GPA was not the highest. It wasn't low. It wasn't enough to qualify for a full ride scholarship. So, I mean, if anyone on here is actually trying to go for cheaper, that is one of the best routes, but it also requires a lot of, I wouldn't even say brain power. It's more of constant preparation. Because like a lot of those scholarships, they go back to your freshman year. Your GPA is started from freshman year in high school to your senior year in high school. So it's based off of everything. That one test that you thought you might fail could literally be the deciding factor in whether or not you get a scholarship. And I gotta say, kind of was for me. So, I mean, if you can do it, do it. It would save so much in the long run. If I could go back and do better on that math test, and that other math test, and that one history test, I would definitely do it. But I think I'm doing pretty all right with the college expenses. Another thing someone said was budgeting. Learn to do it now, and you'll be fine. Trust me. It's hard. It is. But if you can get on a budget and work with that, you'll save yourself a headache down the line. That was word for word from a Reddit post. But yeah, budgeting, that's a huge thing. I mean, if you can manage to budget your expenses, like I said a minute ago, like eating Burger King every night, that is not a good way to budget at all. The best way, Big Papa actually told me this right before I came on here, ramen. Ramen is one of the best ways to budget and save for college. Eating ramen every night might get a little repetitive, but it's so cheap and that will help a lot. It's better than that $4.99 quarter pounder. It'll definitely help you save. So yeah. And one person on Reddit said, I'm surviving and still don't know how. I mean, fair enough. I mean, if you're still making it. Anyways, that's kind of my little rant about how to budget on college. I'll be back after I send you to a Super Bowl ad halftime talk. Josh and Matt talked a little bit yesterday about some of the interesting ads you'll see on the Super Bowl.
It might be a fun time. So.
Yeah, it's getting close.
So did you, as we were watching last night, we laughed and chuckled at several of the commercials. Did you have one commercial that you thought was your favorite? So,
which one was it that I really liked? Was it the Dunkin' Donuts one?
I think the Dunkin' Donuts was probably one of the best. There were several that really kind of caught a lot of attention. Here's the Ben Affleck. So if you didn't catch this one, for Dunkin', basically Ben Affleck goes in and he's hanging out, and it's a studio, and Jennifer's sitting there. It's like the next music, and she has given, or he's requested an audition, if you will.
Right.
So he does a hip hop audition. That's what it sounds like.
She came to my work. Now I gotta show her what I can do.
What up, Bronx? For your consideration, here comes the Boston Massacre. The Dumb Kings. Touchdown Tommy on them keys. And needs no introduction, my partner.
It's really hard to be your friend, man. You said you were gonna support me?
Dumb Kings.
Don't go away, my heart. Why you dunking me, girl? Why you dunking?
Dumb Kings.
My heart.
How do you like them donuts? I'm so
You
sorry.
had to see it, but I forgive you. Lay us on the track.
Are we gonna be on the album?
We talked about this.
Let's go.
Tom, you can stay.
Yes.
Remember when I told you I'd do anything for you? This is anything. Chill. They're naming a drink after us.
Yeah. So if you didn't
Yeah,
catch
that's
it,
right.
it's-
Tom Brady's playing.
Tom Brady was the
yes.
DJ in the film.
Yes.
Of course, Matt Damon's in it as well because they always do things together.
Yes.
That's what he'll say. Remember, I told you I'd do anything for you. So so that's thrown out there. But it was definitely one of the best commercials last night for
Yes.
sure. One of my favorites was Christopher Walken surrounded by people impersonating
impersonating him.
Here's a little dose of that one.
Nice ride.
It's the real deal. 100% electric.
It's the real deal.
Yeah. Thank you.
Of course.
So he's advertising a BMW.
Enjoy your coffee. Careful, it's hot.
Thanks.
Your dog's so cute.
You know, you look nice.
Hello, Mr. Walken. Does this table work for you?
There's only one Christopher Walken and only one ultimate driving machine. The rest are just imitations.
Come on.
Because you gotta do the impersonations of
Yes.
Christopher Walken. So, and then of course one of the ones that I thought was a great one was they've been teasing, the good neighbor State Farm,
Yes.
Mr. State Farm, and it was Arnold Schwarzenegger who couldn't say neighbor until the very end.
Thank you, Agent State Farm.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Cut. Hey, Arnold, I'm hearing neighbor. It's neighbor.
That's what I said. Neighbor.
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 Hey, let's go again.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Cut.
Now what?
Neighbor.
Yeah, neighbor. Just like it's written on the paper. Neighbor.
Still no.
Neighbor.
Neighbor.
Bar.
Bar. Bar. Cut. Arnold, got a bit of a script change. You'll love this.
Thank you, Agent State Farm.
Like a good
neighbor. State Farm is there.
You are a backstabber.
I'm a backstabber.
And he knows he's a backstab. You are a backstabber, and he goes, "You mean backstabber?" So, and if you didn't know what that was, Danny DeVito shows up, which again, for some reason, Danny DeVito is a hit.
Yes.
Among young people
Loved
right
by
now.
Kids.
So
yes.
my girls went crazy. Like, it's the short guy. I'm like, his name's Danny DeVito, but yeah. So that was fun. Those are some of the, but lots of good overall. There's been a couple years of some disappointing commercials, but they weren't bad. Bud Light came back and they introduced the Bud Light Genie, which was kind of a fun one where they got all their wishes.
Yes.
And then of course Budweiser did bring back the Clydesdales later on. So, but there were several good commercials, and they had some other ones that were mixed in. Of course, a lot of home ownership, and we missed it, but the E-Trade babies were back.
Oh
They were playing pickleball. They were in a pickleball match.
How did we miss
it?
That?
Happened real quick. I looked around. We were talking, I think, and then all of a sudden it was over. So,
okay.
But that was a fast one. What was on there? But overall, commercials pretty fun, and they had all kinds of cool things. So.
It was a good game. It was a nice night.
It was a good night. Good night. So we got more coming up. Gonna play another quick tune, and we'll be back right after this on Mix 96. Some Backstreet Boys for you. I Want It That Way.
Nope, can't play Backstreet Boys on Facebook. All right. Let's see what we got left here. Use student discounts. I mean, I didn't know we had student discounts. Shoot, I wish I would have known that sooner. I would have used student discounts a whole lot more. Yeah, I haven't really seen any student discounts. I mean, I do know that like our food from the cafeteria is not expensive, like at all. It's like $5 and you get this full buffet. You can get as much food as you want. And I mean, you can custom make the food. I got like a quadruple cheeseburger one day. It's insane the kind of stuff you can get from a college cafeteria. It's kind of like going to Ponderosa's, but like, you know, it's just never ending and as much as you want and whatever you want. $5, definitely a good option. I mean, shoot, if you're able to go to a college cafeteria right now, man, I mean that's awesome. I'll probably be there tonight. The more I talk about it, the more I actually want to go to the college buffet tonight. It's a very good deal. One of the best deals you can get, I think. Well, I want to go ahead and play this. It's not very long, but I thought it was hilarious. It's Elmo, like from Twitter. Twitter Elmo.
9, some Miley Cyrus there and Used to Be Young on the Morning Crew. We'll be back checking with you at least one last time here in a couple minutes. But before we send you to a break, I don't know if you saw this, Josh, but I guess Elmo took to Twitter recently. Of course, the lovely Tickle Me Elmo.
Favorite.
Well, he apparently took to Twitter, or X, or whatever you want to call it these days, to innocently ask how everyone was doing.
Okay.
Needless to say, he was flooded with a torrent of adults complaining about their lives. Which, big surprise. So, on the bright side, though, it's inspired a new version of the Elmo doll.
Oh.
Introducing a new adult talk therapy toy. It's Complain to Me Elmo.
Tell Elmo problems. Yeah, my wife and I haven't been intimate since we had kids, and I feel like she doesn't love me anymore. Sometimes people grow apart.
And Complain to Me Elmo is the perfect toy to help you blow off steam.
I can't believe he got that promotion over me. I'm 3 times more qualified.
Elmo think boss is male chauvinist pig.
Just complain about your life's aggravations and let Elmo give you advice.
And my kids hate me. They won't even talk to me. Maybe Gary need quit drinking.
Complain to Me Elmo. I've even got one. I can't believe how little they paid me to do this Elmo commercial. Elmo!
At least you don't have dirty puppeteer hand in you like Elmo.
All right.
There you have it. Complain to Me Elmo.
Complain to Me Elmo. Yeah, that's a fun one. I used to be a big fan of Elmo when I was a little kid. I used to watch all the Sesame Street episodes, and I forget their names, but like Bernie and Arnold or something I want to say. Just Sesame Street, that was my jam back when I was a little kid. And Elmo, that I feel like Elmo never dies. Like Elmo is still relevant today, and it's just this little red puppet. And everyone goes crazy for Elmo. I mean, they have like all kinds of Elmo, what do you call it? Like toys and just like clothing and stuff. Elmo is like, I don't know. Elmo's an icon. Elmo, it's funny to me that something so simple can still be relevant today. Well, I heard of a thing called the 50-30-20 budget rule. I want to see if that applies to me, if I've been following the 50-30-20. So the 50-30-20 budget rule states that you should spend up to 50% of your after-tax income on needs and obligations that you must have or must do. The remaining half should be split between savings and debt repayment, 20%, and everything else that you might want, 30%. Okay. So I'm not one for math, but if you're saying I got $100, that I should spend 50 of that on needs and obligations. So such as food or like fixing my pickle-mobile or something like that. So $50 goes on that. And then the other half of the 50 should be spent 20% on my debt. So goodness, I'm struggling here. $20, and everything else that I might want should be $30. I don't think I follow that. I mean, I don't have a whole lot of debt. I mean, I work on it. I try to pay it off. And then like my needs, such as like fixing my car, gas, getting back and forth from work to college to Piketon and such. And then I mean, yeah, then the rest I just kind of spend on what I need to spend it on. I probably should start some sort of savings. But yeah, does that apply to any of you? Do any of you out there follow the 50-30-20 budget rule? Let us know in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and send it off to a segment from Matt and the Morning Crew, and then I'll be back to finish up the show with you guys. So stay tuned.
This morning, 33 degrees through southern Ohio. Let's go ahead and get a quick look at your weather for the day. And again, right now we're at 33 degrees, but we're working up to about 56 this afternoon. Tonight, clear skies, lows down in the mid-20s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, highs again in the mid to upper 50s. Partly cloudy tomorrow night, lows down to 32. Thursday, even better, partly sunny, highs up near 60. And for your Thursday night, cloudy skies with lows dropping down to 43. Looks like even for Friday, we might have some rain, but highs are going to be up around 60. So warm temperatures ahead, at least for the foreseeable future. Looks like for your Super Bowl Sunday, looking at partly sunny skies and highs near 54, so maybe even a chance to get outside before the game, or if it's a boring game, and throw the football around a little bit. You never know. So
that was the worst part about being sick this weekend. It was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, the first beautiful weekend of a long time. So
yeah, I was like, man, I wish I didn't feel like crap because I really need to clean this garage.
Yeah.
And every time I feel like I have time, it's so freaking cold out that I don't want to go stand in the garage for hours.
Right.
So like, man, I know that if I started, I would feel really great to get up and move around and try to do some stuff. But as soon as I get started, I'm going to be exhausted in 10 minutes.
Right, yeah.
So I can't just start tearing into the garage.
Yep. So alas, it remains a project.
Yes, for another day.
So, hey, should we do some pretty people problems?
Yes, we should.
Here we go. Let's talk pretty people problems. That stuff out of Hollywood that you didn't know you needed to know that we think you should know. Well, at a Grammy Awards viewing party Sunday night, Kelly Rizzo, who, of course, is the widow of the late Bob Saget, has revealed that she's now dating clueless actor Breckin Meyer, a guy that you haven't heard so much from for a while. But
that is so rude to call him that.
What?
Clueless actor.
Oh, okay. So maybe I should say it this way: the actor from the movie Clueless.
Oh, I thought. Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so she's dating a clueless actor.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
First time since 2 years since Bob Saget passed away at the age of 65.
Gosh, it's been that long.
Yeah, she said it took a while. But she says, I think I'm okay. I think he'd be happy with it. So Breckin Meyer and Kelly Rizzo officially an item. Ina Garten is planning to release her memoir on August 1st or October 1st this year. She, of course, is the responsible one for the Barefoot Contessa. And she's going to be releasing her memoir later on this year. So be watching for that. She was actually, believe it or not, a nuclear budget analyst for the White House under the Ford and Carter administrations.
Oh, okay.
Before she, quote, got the urge to do something else and became a cook. I'm like, I think it's...
There you go then.
Yeah, so be watching for that. If you're a fan of Barefoot Contessa, she's releasing her memoir in October. Nick Viall and Natalie Joy have welcomed their first child together. He's the alumni from The Bachelor. She's his fiance. They shared photos of their newborn daughter, River Rose. It's Instagram. She was born on Friday and named after Natalie's great-grandmother and niece. So, Peter Murgatroyd and Maxim Shmerkovsky are expecting their third child together.
Oh, tell me his name isn't Murgatroyd. Tell me that's not real. Did you say Murgatroyd?
Her last name is Murgatroyd. Peter Murgatroyd.
Like Heavens to Murgatroyd?
Yes.
Seriously?
Heavens to Murgatroyd, Betsy.
Heavens to Murgatroyd.
Yeah, no, that's her name. Peter Murgatroyd.
Okay.
And Maxim Shmerkovsky.
Okay.
From Dancing with the Stars. This is their third together. So.
Okay.
And she said, yes, we're having a baby, and we know we just had a baby. This was very unexpected. 4 months postpartum. Well, that generally tends to happen.
They know what causes that.
So, so they're happy and ready to be a family of 5. So, congratulations to PETA and Maxim, who apparently did the.
Apparently they don't wait very long.
Yeah, so.
Apparently, postpartum depression is not a part of her vocabulary.
Trying to think of one of those dances that they do.
The tango?
The tango, yeah. They apparently, did the tango in the sheets or whatever. But anyway, Carey Mulligan says the actors who claim awards don't matter are 100% lying.
Yes.
So she said she's not buying the whole awards don't matter spiel. The Maestro actress told the London Times in a recent interview that actors who say they don't care about awards are lying. And she says, it's the coolest thing when you get it because it's from your peers. She said, but she's gutted about Greta Gerwig being snubbed for Best Director. So, but she says, they say they don't matter. It doesn't matter to them. Basically they're just saying that because they're frustrated that they didn't get nominated. So, well, if you are a fan of Netflix's Ratched, based on Nurse Ratched from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Okay.
It's her backstory. It has been canceled by Netflix, despite originally receiving a 2-season order. Sarah Paulson has confirmed the news. When a fan asked her, are we getting Ratched Season 2? And she replied, no. So, I gotta say, I didn't get through all the first season, but it was pretty dark and pretty intense. So. According to a Hollywood Reporter, Wendy Williams is releasing a documentary about her life following the cancellation of her talk show 2 years ago. She said, I have no money and I'm going to tell you something. So if it happens to me, it can happen to you. So be watching for that. A 2-part documentary that promises to open the doors to her private life like never before. To which I go, who cares? But it's set to premiere on Lifetime on Saturday, February 24th and Sunday, February 25th. So if you are a Wendy Williams fan and you want to know where in the world is Wendy Williams, you can find out on Lifetime.
Basically, it sounds like the only
it's a
thing
money
that's,
grab.
Yeah, the only thing that's worth anything for her is her name, so she might as well at least exploit herself.
Yep.
All right, that makes sense.
And then Donald Glover, who of course stars in the new Amazon Prime version of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, has shared this important sex tip that he learned while filming Mr. and Mrs. Smith. During a recent interview with Page 6, he shared what he learned while filming the new series. He said, go slow. And he said, I don't even mean in just foreplay. He said, I mean in everything. It will make everything a lot more romantic, and you'll appreciate it a lot more when you get there. You'll really understand it. So he said, go slow, everybody, but mostly guys. Go slower. So, a little bit of a tip for you there if you needed to know. So... on the music side, Stevie Nicks is adding 12 more concerts to her tour schedule this year. Includes additional stops in Missouri, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, and Utah. Or she's going to play at the Texas Institute for Technology and Science.
Nice. So. I would if I were her.
Yeah, so tickets go on sale this Thursday. The 50th anniversary edition, which is expanded, of Paul McCartney and the Wings' Band on the Run album is available.
Yeah, they did it's like stripped down versions of the songs.
Yeah.
It gets rid of a lot of the production stuff.
Yeah, it features Jet, Bluebird, and Let Me Roll With It, among others.
Yep.
And there are several versions available in different formats. It was originally released in 1973. Singer Phil Labonte of All That Remains says the band is planning a tour as they finish up a new album. It should be out by June, and a new single by April. Papa Roach and Jacoby Shaddix revealed that they have big plans for next year as they celebrate the 25th anniversary of their first album, Infest, which will include a new book. And they say new music by the end of the year. No big surprise here, I guess. But Megan Thee Stallion, not the Stallion. But her new single, Hiss, debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It's her third song to reach the top of the chart after Savage. And oh my gosh, I couldn't believe this. WAP was
really?
number 1, yeah. So
okay, so
nothing like wings and pizza.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
What's the name of the song?
The new one? Hiss.
Yeah, Hiss. Okay.
So it's number 1. Jack Harlow's Lovin' On Me slips to number 2. Taylor Swift's Cruel Summer is number 3. Teddy Swims' Lose Control is number 4, with Tate McRae's Greedy rounding out the top 5. I guess Usher's getting naked. For those
Usher's
that are fans.
getting naked?
Yeah,
okay.
Well, he apparently debuted yesterday. He's the latest celebrity model in an ad campaign for the menswear division of Kim Kardashian's Skims brand. He said, Kim's been a longtime friend of mine who's always been so supportive of my work, so the opportunity to collaborate together on a campaign that supports both of our highly anticipated launches made total sense. He stripped down to his underwear for the new campaign, showing off Skims' Stretch 5 boxers, which are only $52 a pair, and the Cotton 3 boxer briefs, which are $18. The brand will also be offering exclusive versions of Usher's new album, Coming Home, including a bonus track. And of course, if you did not know, Usher's set to perform this Sunday
I was gonna say
for the halftime show. So.
At the Super Bowl. So I wondered if he was going to be wearing those special boxers.
I don't know if you saw this, but the LAPD has offered more details about why Killer Mike was arrested after the Grammys, after winning Best Rap Album for Michael, plus Best Rap Song and Best Rap Performance for Scientists and Engineers. Well, he was detained and handcuffed for a physical altercation that apparently happened at Chick Hearn Court, which is directly next to the Crypto.com arena where the Grammys took place. They said that he was placed under arrest and was transported to the Central Division, where he was booked for misdemeanor battery, but was released on zero bail. Killer Mike is what his stage name is, and he refused to address the arrest during interviews yesterday, saying that he only has, quote, hit a speed bump while celebrating his Grammy wins. So there you have it, folks. Killer Mike arrested at the Grammys.
So I was just curious. I'm sorry, I get into a groove and just have to figure it out. So I wanted to double check to make sure that it was going to be okay. So this is I had to do some lyric digging.
All right.
Because I needed to know what the lyrics were to Megan Thee Stallion's "Hiss."
Mm-hmm.
Let's say.
So do we get interpretive lyrics from Josh, or is it not appropriate?
Believe me, it is definitely not appropriate. The introduction says, "I just want to kick this blank off by saying blank, y'all. I ain't gonna clear my name on a blanky blanking thing. Every time I get mentioned, one of y'all blank ass blanks get 24 hours of attention." Okay. All right. So the first verse, I mean, this is good stuff. It says, "I feel like Mariah Carey got these blanks so obsessed. My blank so famous might get..." And it's unbelievable. I can't even make it through 2 lines.
I know.
Oh.
But it's number one, baby.
But it's number one.
Number one, baby. Gotta love it. Heading to Zumba stages everywhere for those of you that dance.
Who is listening to this stuff?
I don't know. Teens and moms. They want to be cool, I guess, but I don't know. So,
man alive.
Yeah, finally, Ariana Grande's highly anticipated 7th studio album, Eternal Sunshine, isn't coming out till March 8th. Its first single, Yes and, is all fans are going to get to hear until then. She says, as hard as it is to resist the urge to share another song and single with you, ASP, she says, I want you to experience the album in full this time. So Ariana Grande says, no new singles until the album drops. And there you have it, folks. That's your Pretty People Problems for the day. Things from Hollywood that you didn't think you needed to know, that we are certain that you needed to know.
So do you want to talk about the box office
Yeah,
real
let's
fast?
hit the box office real quick.
Of course, the thing that led us to this earlier was that today would have been Bob Marley's birthday.
Yep.
Of course, that movie is coming out on February 14th, Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
It does not, people ask me this one all the time. A lot of times the movie will release the day before.
Right.
These ones are all releasing on that particular day, Wednesday. So this past week for us, I know you were asking me about The Chosen and how it did.
Yeah.
I know for us, it was just a little bit under Argyle in sales, but it was. Did you see it at the box office? I was told that The Chosen was number 2.
Number 2, yeah.
Which that's pretty amazing
Mm-hmm.
for something like that.
Right.
So those, I know that The Chosen, as far as episodes 1 through 3, will only be in the theater for 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks, and then.
Well, we're on number 6. So, I'm talking about my list here. I have one more left, number 6, and that is take advantage of campus resources and events. That is the best one on there because it is so true. Going to campus events and using the campus resources is the best way to get through college. The events allow you to meet other people and get social, make some friends, explore what the campus has to offer. And it is just really fun. And all in all, college can be stressful, But my experience, I've enjoyed it, and I encourage people to give it a try. It's one of those things that if you don't do it now, that's not to say you'll never do it. Anyone can do it. We have a 90-year-old person who is currently going to college. But that's not to say just anyone can make it through it. You also have to stay committed. And all in all, I mean, I think it's a fun thing. I encourage anyone who's just getting out of high school to give it a try. And those of you who aren't like considering going to college and are a little past 19, I hope you've enjoyed what I've had to say about it. But yeah, definitely take advantage of the resources as well, because like your college success advisors, they can really help you get through everything and just provide great guidance. So that's what I have to say about how to navigate college from a freshman. So I have one more video I want to show you guys from Mix 96. This one is not too long, but I just wanted to let you guys see it.
Product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
All right, 9:58 on the morning crew. Just about ready to wrap it up, and we're going to get into one thing real quick before we wrap it up. But hey, you know, everybody's talking. We talked all morning about the Super Bowl, and somebody said, "Oh, great, you've become the target audience for Super Bowl discussions." Not sure what I think about that. And I said, "Well, it was just for today. We'll go back to other crazy stuff tomorrow." So, but wanted to throw a few things in here. But
well, we could change the music and do that.
We're gonna do that. We are gonna do that as we wrap up. We'll change to music. But of course, you know, they had the big game yesterday to celebrate. Not the teams, not the commercials, not the halftime performance. But the real reason we celebrated last night was America's love for chicken wings.
Yes.
So I said every guy on the Chiefs and the 49ers will be wishing that they were home watching football, eating buffalo wings on Super Bowl Sundays. So Drew Cerza, who's dubbed the Wing King, said from his royal palace of poultry in Buffalo, New York, that the Royal Highness of hot sauce may be right, because if you didn't, I think we shared this on Friday. It was said that Americans will have consumed 1.45 billion chicken wings during the Super Bowl last night. So, according to the National Chicken Council. So
now, if you're counting the boneless wings that we had at the house,
that's true.
I would say we put a good dent in that.
Yeah, we did. So, and we'll wrap it up with this real quick. We'll go ahead and get a little bit of music here for the background. We got your Rock Hall of Fame nominees for 2024. They released their nominees for this year, which include Cher, Ozzy Osbourne, Oasis, Sinead O'Connor, Mariah Carey, Mary J. Blige, Dave Matthews Band, Eric B. and Rakim, Foreigner, Frampton, Jane's Addiction, Kool and the Gang, Lenny Kravitz, and A Tribe Called Quest. Now, in order to be on, it's a pretty good list. In order to be on the list, they have to have been eligible in the albums and information and their debuts of their singles have to have premiered in 1999 or earlier.
25 years, yes.
Yeah, so all of this year's 15 nominees have been eligible in previous years, but 10 of them are on the ballot for the first time this year. Mariah's a first-timer, Cher's a first-timer, Foreigner's a first-timer, Frampton's a first-timer. That one kind of surprises me. Kool and the Gang is a first-timer. Lenny Kravitz, Oasis, Sinead O'Connor, Ozzy Osbourne, and Sade were all first-timers.
The one that's surprising is Cher. Now, I think Cher had even made a statement a while back that was how on earth is it that I'm not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame already?
Right.
So.
Yeah. It was the third nomination for A Tribe Called Quest and second for Mary J. Blige, Dave Matthews Band, Eric B. and Rakim, and Jane's Addiction. So, wonder who's going to make it in this year.
I don't know. It is a good list.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say that we probably better put Cher in there sometime soon.
You would think so, yeah, because
if you don't, she's probably just going to...
plastic as she is, you know, I got to permanently put her wax statue out front.
If Mariah Carey makes it in before Cher, that probably could be a problem.
Yeah, that's going to be the end of the world, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
So, but speaking of the end of the world, that's it for us today. We're out of time for the day, and we will be back tomorrow morning. And we're going to send you out with this statement. Football season officially over. Liz Starkin next to entertain you on the work day.
Friends, we gather today to bid a final